Cuba is facing severe shortages: fuel, electricity, and basic food supplies, long lines at gas stations, rolling blackouts across cities, store shelves running empty. The question is, what caused this? Is it sanctions, government policy, supply chain collapse, or global pressure building around the island? Today we break down what's happening in Cuba, why it matters regionally, and what could come next.
The facts about Cuba in under 60 seconds. There are shortages of food, medicine, and fuel. Cuba relies on imports for about 60% of its energy, mainly from Venezuela and Mexico. Shipments from Venezuela stopped in January after the US attacked and captured their president Nicolas Maduro. Shipments from Mexico stopped in February after Trump signed an executive order threatening sanctions on any country selling oil to Cuba. This cuts off fuel supply for Cuba's electrical grid, which was already in poor shape. Blackouts have been standard for many Cubans even before the oil blockade. Gasoline is being rationed, and Cubans could be waiting months for one tank of gas. Cuba's main airport in Havana warned that it will run out of jet fuel, along with other airports in the country. Canada's major airlines have suspended flights to Cuba, and the government is advising against non-essential travel to the country. Canada is Cuba's largest source of tourists, according to the federal government. And tourism is in trouble. In 2024, Cuba had 2.2 million visitors. That's down more than 50% from 2018.
Playing dominoes by torchlight. This is how one Cuban family passes the time during a blackout. Power cuts like this are happening more and more frequently due to the country's fuel shortage.
They cut the electricity here every day, leaving us without power for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Since Donald Trump removed Venezuela's leftist leader, Nicolas Maduro, in January, the US has prevented Caracas from supplying oil to Cuba and threatened to impose sanctions on any country that does. In response to the energy crisis, the Cuban government is implementing a 4-day work week and restricting fuel sales. Ordinary Cubans are struggling to adapt. Vehicle owners are limited to 20 litres of petrol, purchased through an app with long wait times. Yixander Diaz is a taxi driver, but without fuel for his car, he's had to find work elsewhere.
I had to park the motorcycle, park the car, take a bicycle and work in construction. It had been a long time since I worked in construction.
Street vendor Luis Morales worries that he might face supply issues soon.
Food will become scarce if the trucks that transport supplies stop coming. The town is really going to be in need.
This latest fuel shortage is aggravating an already difficult situation in the communist country.
Breaking news, our President Donald Trump has ordered attacks on Cuba's energy infrastructure, plunging the country into chaos. Cuba was already facing a severe fuel shortage due to U.S. sanctions that blocked oil shipments from Venezuela and Mexico, leaving its fuel reserves at just 15 to 20 days. Rolling blackouts lasting up to 18 hours a day are now affecting homes, hospitals, and schools across the nation. Airlines like Air Canada have suspended flights because of a critical jet fuel shortage. In response, the Cuban government has implemented emergency measures, including a 4-day-a-week fuel rationing program and reduced public transportation, in an effort to keep essential services running. People are waiting in line for hours at gas stations just to get a few liters of fuel, while hospitals rely mostly on backup generators with limited power. Food distribution and basic services have slowed down significantly due to the lack of fuel. Most importantly, experts are warning that the situation could trigger a full-scale humanitarian crisis.
Cuba is running out of oil. With Venezuela under de facto American control, this island is cut off from its largest oil supplier. I've lived here for more than 14 years, but the way this crisis has struck so quickly and widely has really surprised me. So there's a real sense of unease rippling across this island nation of 9 million people, and frankly, things feel very different to me at the moment. Now the power is off more hours a day than it is on. We are seeing gas lines, even at stations that charge in US dollars, that go on for hours. To fill up there can cost more than $50, which is quite a bit more than most Cubans make in a month. There is an online government reservation system to pay in pesos, but getting one of those hard to find spots can take more than a month. I spoke to one energy expert who said there are no more oil shipments on the horizon for Cuba. According to Politico, the White House is considering placing a naval blockade on Cuba. And one U.S. embassy source even told me the diplomats have been advised to, quote, have their bags packed. While there are no signs of a diplomatic drawdown, the White House is openly looking for new ways to put pressure on the communist-run government here, which is remaining defiant. President Diaz-Canel ordering one of the largest demonstrations in front of the U.S. embassy just days ago